What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and guys, it's been a hot minute, but I am back on track, and this time I'm coming through with my long overdue review of the Christopher Nolan film Tenet, starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, and a slew of other actors. And guys, before I delve into the review, I am going to be touching on some light spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film, which it's been out for a little while now, but if you still haven't seen it and you want to see it, I suggest going and watch it, then coming back to this video, and then we can talk all things Tenet. But without further ado, guys, let's jump into my review of Tenet. A new mind-bending spy thriller actioner from Christopher Nolan, Tenet centers around John David Washington's the protagonist trying to avert a terrorist attack that will happen, ironically, in the past. With time travel and captivating visuals and a great cast, this film will be sure to leave you on the edge of your seat until the very end. Tenet was an amazing film, and of course, being a fan of Christopher Nolan's films, aside from, of course, the masterful Dark Knight trilogy, he is a great director, and he is kind of a classic director's director. He does do a lot of intricate stuff, and the way that he envelops you in these stories and everything, it's really quite awesome. There's not really a lot of adjectives that I can come up with because I'm at a loss for words, but this film honestly felt like the most ambitious out of all his films, and I say that because the film, for the majority of everything going on, was pretty much all practical. They do so many large sets, they do a lot of on-scene location shooting and everything like that, and then even beyond that, they take a lot of stunts and a lot of explosions and all this stuff and crank it up to 11, so the budget had to have been high because a lot of these things were practical. Although some of them looked like classic model effects, even though they looked larger than life on the screen. Hands down, I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, you're going to love it. And the thing is that it plays like a Christopher Nolan's greatest hits. Whatever you can think of in a Christopher Nolan film or some of his greats, he wraps it all into one. He's got the action, the visuals. He's got the soundtrack, which is amazing, done by Ludwig Göransson, who's done so many great soundtracks that I love. And I've been having this soundtrack on repeat for the past week and a half or so, ever since I've seen the movie. Not to mention the fact that, as always, an excellent cast rounds out the film. John David Washington, this film has done so much for his acting ability, in my opinion, from everything else I've seen him in. This film shows him that he is an amazing leading man, and he is in the trajectory to be as great of an actor, if not better, than his father Denzel Washington, which still blows my mind. Robert Pattinson, great supporting actor in this role, and he does bring his A game, of course. And Robert Pattinson, over the past several years, of course he's getting an A-list status, of course he's getting more appreciation, and he's relieving the stigma of Twilight and Edward Cullen. I'm sure it was a good bouncing off point or jumping off point for his career and everything, but the great thing is that he's not being typecasted and stereotyped in that kind of role, and especially since he's going to be Batman/Bruce Wayne in the upcoming The Batman film as well too, it's just adding to that feeling of him breaking out and having a lot more performances that people will recognize him for, and how versatile of an actor he is. Then also a show stealer for me, as always, was Kenneth Branagh being the main antagonist in the film, and this isn't the first time that he's been that way, and not only that, but this isn't the first time that he's also played an evil Russian terrorist antagonist, because he also played one in Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, which is a film that not many people really recall, which starred Chris Pine as Jack Ryan. But overall, this film was great. It was fantastic. It was jaw-dropping, and the thing of it is that it's not as complex and kind of intertwined in sort of these crazy sophisticated details as so much as like Inception or some of these other Christopher Nolan films. However, that could probably be because if you're a longtime fan of Christopher Nolan, you kind of know what to look for almost, as far as little breadcrumbs to seeing what's going on here and there. I found myself being able to find where the trail was going to go. Obviously, the journey is really the important part, because there were a lot of set pieces and action points inside of the film which I didn't see coming, but ultimately, even if you can predict what's going to happen or kind of take a shot in the dark, everything else in the film is still awesome, and especially the ending is still one of those things that evokes such an emotion out of you. So overall, guys, whether you're a fan of science fiction, a fan of spy, espionage, thrillers, or a fan of Christopher Nolan, the man himself, and his film repertoire, you definitely want to go and see this. And ultimately, guys, I personally give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was that good. And guys, if you have a chance to Go and check it out. I'm a little upset because I hadn't had a chance to see it in IMAX, but I think I just might have to take the drive and see if I can check it out in full force and just see if I can pick out new stuff, as one can do in a Christopher Nolan film. But ultimately, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my review of Tenet. Guys, again, go see the movie immediately. And guys, if you dug this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are subbed, make sure you hit that bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. And until next time, guys, as always, I'm Jay. So thank you, take care, and bye.